Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. Okay, this morning we have Seagram's VO. Seagram's VO, imported Canadian blended whiskey, introduced in 1911. One of the iconic blended whiskey brands of this world versus Club 400 Special Reserve, introduced in 1951. Definitely not one of the iconic blended whiskey brands of this world. In fact, it's quite obscure, although someone in Baltimore, Maryland, or in the state of Maryland told me, oh, no, it's everywhere around here. Well, yeah, it's probably one of those local icons, but nationally it's, nothing. Sort of like Taka vodka down here. Taka is everywhere in Louisiana. Billboards. I saw a billboard on US Highway 51 heading north on Saturday. It said Taka. What did it say? Taka. It's carnival time, I think. And they were advertising the Taka King Cake vodka. King Cake flavored vodka. Can you imagine that? But, everybody's going to have VO Gold. I mean, VO. I had clicked the wrong button at first. I had to restart this, and I got to go reset my event for Thursday. I'm planning to do one Thursday, the Seagram's VO Gold versus Club 400. I got to rewrite that whole thing. Oh, well, that won't take too long. There's no website information for VO Gold. Now, VO, yes. There is website information. You got to look on a website called thebar.com. www.thebar, one word, thebar.com. And that's the Diageo liquor website. And they have a showcase of all their brands. Well, I should say many of their brands. And then links. Now, they don't, it's odd that they don't give the link to the Seagram 7 website. But they talk about the whole Seagram's, they call it the Seagram 7 line, so to speak. And they talk about the VO Gold, the VO. They don't say too much about it. They just say, it's designed mainly as a mixer, which I'm sure that's true. Same with Club 400, but strange. They're mixing whiskeys, right? But they have pretty complex flavors, so it's kind of a surprise there. Michael Stevens says, good morning, Ron. Good morning, Michael. Thanks for watching this video production. It's so cold and damp outside. The high today is going to be 43. The low tonight may be 20. I mean, I'm worried. We got to worry about pipes freezing up. And it's the dampness around here. Now, some people might say, 43, that's nothing. I live in, Oakland, Michigan. Well, that's good. And I know it's very cold, but hey, this is cold enough for me. And it's the dampness that kills me. And I got to go walk 1.5 miles today. And I always do my walk. I don't care what the weather's like. I mean, unless it's pouring down rain, I might have to double up the next day. But I always walk 1 mile, 9 to 10 miles a week, and do my push-ups first thing in the morning and sit-ups every day. Now, some people I know do elaborate workouts, but then they never do it. They tell me, oh, yeah, I go to the club for an hour, but then sometimes I skip and then I fall out of it. It's like, well, that's why you never get in shape. And you eat these huge meals. I see they sit down at 6 o'clock at night, eat this huge meal. It's like, no wonder you tell me that you have problems with being overweight. I mean, look at what you... Okay, but enough rant and rave around about that. But I do my exercises every day, never miss. Weighed myself this morning, 145.4. I would rather it to be 145.0. Yesterday was 144.0, I believe, which was a pound underweight. But we did get the dollar stackers at Taco Bell. I ate 2 of those, and then Missy gave me one of her tacos. And then, I ate a piece of chocolate cake, and then had some potato chips last night. But those stackers are kind of fatty, you know. Anyway, enough of that. Enough of that. VO. What does VO stand for? Nobody knows. SVO. Special Vehicle Operations. 1985 Mustang SVO. Ford Mustang SVO. Seagram's VO. It's got the House of Seagram's emblem, the S with the two lions and the crown, the Canadian thing. Distillery since 1857. Bought out by the Bronfen family in 1926, I think it was, 23, 26. Seagram's VO. It's got this nice matte finish. It's like kind of fancy. Yeah. I don't know how to describe that. It's a kind of a little textured finish, rough. Okay, Canada's finest. Well, that's what they say. Other Canadians may dispute that. But that's what they say. How long is it aged? I don't know. They don't have an age statement. I think in Canada it has to be a minimum of 3 years, but could be wrong. All right. Club 400. Well, it says aged. This whiskey is 3 years old. Blended and bottled by Majestic Distilling Company. It's a distilling company that doesn't distill. You know what I'm saying? They shut down their distillation operations years ago. But Sazerac, who bought Majestic years ago, uses it as a blending and bottling plant. So they probably ship out a lot of whiskey there, and they blend it and bottle it and then send it all off to the East Coast. And then somehow it found its way down to North Alabama, Northern Alabama, right off the interstate. I bought it, and it was a ripoff. I mean, the price was $3.99 for the bottle. That was a good price. But when they added that ridiculous and outrageous Alabama liquor tax, then it was no kind of deal. In Louisiana, it would have only cost me $4.39, $4.40, something like that. Okay, gold. I think the Club 400 is a little deeper gold, though. Yeah, it is. It's more golden. This one is paler. VO, very old, very own. It's a mystery, and the Seagram's company never did say what it stood for, so you're never going to know. I think I'll be able to tell these apart rather easily because the Club 400 has that strong rye note. And what do we know? What have we learned from repeated samplings at 6 in the morning, 5:30 in the morning with the overnights, sometimes at 5, about the Sazerac line of whiskeys? They tend to be much higher rye. They tend to have a much higher rye presentation than other companies. So that's a tip-off. You start tasting that peppery rye bread spice, and you say, there it is. And then the Club 400, it's differentiated from the other Sazerac brands because of its strange, unique, but not unpleasant cantaloupe flavor, which I don't know where that's coming from. Good morning. Jay says Hooba D. Good morning, Hooba D. Man, I'm hungry already. I ate a piece of that pumpkin pie, the last piece. That was like eating nothing. I mean, I'm hungry. I need to cut some of that Spam that I bought. Oh, not Spam, excuse me. Great Value luncheon meat. I said, let's see how it holds up to Spam. It's probably made at the same place. And I was going to put it on some of those crackers with some of the cream cheese and the hot sauce and a little bit of soy sauce. So I'm going to have to eat that sooner than later because and for lunch, why not soup, right? Why not soup in this cold? Okay. The Seagram's VO has a nice, pleasant little, very mild wood flavor, I think, and all that. So I think it's going to be differentiated just by that. You say, you're saying it's bland. You could say that. Their own website basically says that. I mean, read the website. It's saying, it's kind of like apologizing for the product as you read the description. It's like, yeah, well, this is good for mixing. Put some hot sauce in your soup. Oh, wow. That goes without saying. I got a lot of that Louisiana Supreme left. It's going in the soup with the black pepper and the pepper jack cheese and the diced yellow onions. You know me. You know what I'm going to do. But I'm not going to put any sausage. I'm going to save that for the beans when I eat some more beans with that smoked sausage and the Johnsonville. And then I got another pack of the Johnsonville New Orleans style, whatever that's supposed to be, New Orleans style smoked sausage. I don't know what they mean by that. Okay. Always get it in my nose. Yummy. Oh yeah, it's gonna be yummy. Oh, and then I'll sop it up with some brown bread and some melted butter. Put it in the toaster oven. I mean, in the summertime, you just put the butter out. It's gonna melt instantly. But put it in the toaster oven, get it to where it's melting, and then sop up all the soup. And I'm gonna close it out with some of those the mental block, the pecan cookies that my second cousin and his wife sells online. They gave me some for Christmas. Those are great. It's sad. I could be mentioning it and you could be ordering it. Okay. I'm getting a lot of spice in the nose, and yeah, it's got alcohol, but what do you expect? Spice, sweetness, dried flowers, something like that. A little nectar and fruit and whatnot, and wood. Smells real good. Now the VO is about $18 a bottle, and the Club 400's about $8 for the same size bottle. So we're talking about a $10 bottle difference, okay? Now, if they taste comparable, why would I ever dream of paying $10 more? I would not. Yeah, Walmart sells VO. Winn-Dixie is, I'd love to see the sales numbers on VO and Seagram 7. It's got to be astronomical because Winn-Dixie's constantly selling VO, Seagram 7, and those brown bottles, glass bottles, and then the big 1,750 milliliter handle bottles for like cheap. And these people buy it like crazy for like the Super Bowl. And then they love Crown Royal. That's another Seagram's originated product, also owned by Diageo today. Crown Royal, Crown Royal, Crown Royal. It's like, well, I could do just a channel with Crown Royal, honestly. So many variants today. Okay, now this one over here. Okay. Settle down. Concentrate. Okay. All right. Okay. You see? This one has a sharper aroma, like more spice, right? More spice, more spice. And I think it must be Club 400. I don't want to look too carefully because I told you one was a shade darker. The Club 400 was a shade darker. So now you might say, that's junk. You could say it's junk if you want. I don't think Sazerac makes junk. They make odd things, peculiar things, inexpensive things, and really expensive things. Like the Pappy Van Winkle line and the Weller line. But they just cover all the bases: high, middle, and low. I think it's good for the price. You've tried the Club 400? See over here, I think I'm getting more wood. over here. And you know, the VO's aged in oak. Where is it aged? We don't know. Where is it distilled? This we do not know. Diageo does not say. Somewhere in Canada. Where? If you could break the code. Okay, I'm going to taste. I'm going in with the taste. So it's time to roll. Yeah, it's like super mellow, man. And it reminds me of the first time I tried the Seagram's VO. After bingo, I was tired that night too. I mean, I was tired. But I sat here and I made a video. I didn't post it. I deleted it. I was too tired. I was too out of it. You know, it was like, but I remember the flavor. I thought, no, this is bland. You know, it's nothing bad about it. It's just so basic. Okay, look, I'm pretty sure that 99% of people that are running to Winn-Dixie and running to Walmart and buying their VO that they love, and that's all they ever drink. You know, people like this kind of stuff, that's all they drink. You know what I mean? I got to get my VO. You know, they're all mixing it. Maybe 1% of those people are drinking it straight. You know, maybe 1% is drinking it straight. But, you know, I mean, for real, they're making mixed drinks with it. And it's working perfectly for that. But to sit there and sip it and contemplate it, yeah, it's just, maybe that's why you should listen to the producer. They're telling you that. The people that make the product are telling you, yeah, it's really just a mixer. Little fruit flavor, you know, little like some kind of fruit. I don't know what it is, what kind, I don't know. And wood, yeah, there's wood. Now let's go over here. I think this, okay, here we go. I'm going to watch your beer review you just did after this. Oh yeah, the Chuck. That was a weird one because I couldn't get any information on it. It's like it doesn't exist on a website, which is not uncommon. And then people will tell me, well, on tap says it's this percent. That's not an official stat, okay? That's just, where did they get that information? What's the source? Oh, well, I don't know. Rate Beer says it's such and such ABV. What's their source? No response. See what I mean? If I don't get it officially, a primary source, I'm just not gonna put the ABV. It's probably around 5, you know, it tastes like it was. Okay. I mean, this one has so much more spice to it. It might turn you off because I know people that hate rye whiskey, man. I mean, they hate it. Why you think, son, you gave me a full unopened bottle? She said, you could have it if you want it. Never been opened. Well, of course I took it. It was great. But I mean, it's got a strong rye spice component. And that turns some people off. They just don't like that. They couldn't bear to eat rye bread. You know, it's like rye bread. Oh no. Ugh. Does that make those people bad? No, they just don't like it. Okay, you know, people have different tastes. They like different things. So yeah, it's got that little cantaloupe, but I mean, it's not coming out. It's weird because when you drink these things alone in isolation, sometimes like do a solo review and you're not doing a comparison, you won't notice as many things. It's weird. And then when you start doing a side-by-side, then you start to pick up more. I think it's probably because you're trying to find little points of discernment, you know what I mean? Little differentiations. So you might pick that up more. All right, which one's better? Oh, okay. Which one's better? Which one's better? Which one's better? Honestly, I can't really say one is better than the other because, to be fair, and I think with these chase challenges and to do beer reviews in general, fairness, something that a lot of reviewers I find don't, that's a concept they don't grasp. But to be fair, but then on the other hand, a lot of reviewers do grasp that concept. But to be fair, it's just a personal preference issue. It's like, well, you might prefer a more highly rye spiced whiskey from Maryland. Also makes sense because remember I told you the Pikesville rye originated from that distillery years ago, and so it's kind of like a Baltimore thing, I believe. The rye spice, kind of like a Baltimore thing from Baltimore. All right. If you like a more smooth, let's call it, it is smoother over here and more mellow, and you could use the term low profile flavor and aroma presentation, you might prefer this. I can't, you know, with a little more wood. I can't really honestly say one is better. Now, which one would I prefer? You know, it just depends what I felt like drinking on day to day. Like one day I might feel like drinking more rye spice, and the other day I might feel like drinking more kind of standard, like generalized whiskey flavor thing, you know, because honestly, the VO is just like, it's trying to hit the middle, you know what I mean, of the taste compass, like the middle. Not too spicy, not too dull, you know, not too this, not, it's just like kind of like in the middle, and there you get, we would call bland or whatever. So, but it's bland, but like I said, I want to be fair, it's bland by design. And if something is bland by design, then it's not wrong, right? It's made actually the way it's supposed to be made. It's like Bush beer. People say it's so dull and watery. Well, it is dull and watery. But the interesting thing about Bush beer is it was designed to be that way. Like literally designed to be that way. So people out in the Midwest, Missouri, Oklahoma, Kansas, Nebraska, Iowa, that are working on the farm in that really bad dry heat, you know, in the summer, they could just guzzle massive amounts of Bush beer. So it was a lighter bodied alternative to Budweiser, Bush Bavarian, which what it has to do with Bavaria, I do not know. And it was a huge hit. So then Bush became like the thing out there in the middle of the United States, the mid-continent section. As a matter of fact, it became such a big hit that in 1979 it was rolled out nationally. So Bush beer is dull and watery by design, and they hit that taste profile to perfection right now. My friend Dave, he went over to the United States. He came to the United States from Australia. And he said the one that impressed him the most was, one of the ones that impressed him the most was the Bush beer. He thought it was outstanding. Now, he had no, what you would say, prejudice or inclination to score it high or low or whatever, because he's from Australia. It doesn't make any difference to him. He ain't going to go home and drink Bush, but he liked it. So you see, so that's enough of that. I think I made my point. So this is the VO, and this is the Club 400 Special Reserve. Or at least I should say that's what I'm thinking. Let's see about that. Oh my word. Okay, well, Louisiana beer reviews, my channel and everything is going to be discontinued immediately. like the New Orleans Saints right now. I think I have it won, you know, it's over. I've achieved it. But I'm oh so wrong. So terribly and disastrously wrong. I don't I'm to say I'm shocked is an understatement. I guess I got a lot of thinking to do now. So golly gee. I don't know. I was a little, now you say, oh, here's gonna walk it back. Here's this cover. I'm not walking it back because if you look at the early part of this video, I said when I did the aroma that they were pretty similar. But I thought, I was confident that in the taste test, I'd be able to easily tell them apart. And I'm saying this is the VO, but it's Club 400. Wow. I could literally do a round two. Not today, I wouldn't do it, but at a future point, because it's got me pretty freaked out right now. Pretty freaked out. Pretty depressed. You don't need to judge me. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm sitting here drinking the VO and I'm talking about how rye it is. Well, okay. Oh yeah. Oh, never mind. Just excuse all that depression. Don't you remember that Canadian whiskey uses a lot of rye? Oh yeah. Ha 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 ha. So that's my cover. That's my cover. Actually, I do feel better now that I think about it, because isn't that like the thing, Canadian whiskey? They used to call it rye whiskey because they used a lot of rye. Ha ha ha. So see, I'm excused. This failure doesn't count. Rye was the case that they gave me. And I ought to rename this video, Rye was the case that they gave me. Okay, so, oh boy, wow. Well. Yeah. I don't feel too bad though, because anyway, you know, I did say live on the air that they both were good and I couldn't pick a winner. Couldn't even pick them apart. All right. I gotta move past this. I have to rally and reclaim my psychological strength. Oh, well, you know, hey, it's cold outside. Oh, it's gone. All right. Let's see. I'm trying to think, how can I frame this? I'm trying to frame it so it doesn't look so bad. Let's see. Blended whiskey, that's $18, and a blended whiskey, that's $8. I got them wrong. I claimed one was rye. This one's from Canada. One's from Maryland. Let's see. Let's try to figure this out. Okay, let's see. Canada used to be owned by Great Britain. Maryland used to be owned by Great Britain. The British somehow influenced the comparative comparable taste of those two whiskeys. Okay, so blame it on Great Britain. Blame it on the British. No, it doesn't hold up. All right, so anyway, I got it wrong. So tough, too bad. Tough luck. Okay. All right, so now maybe in 2 days, if I'm able, and I'd like to, we can look at Club 400 versus Seagram's VO Gold. The VO Gold is aged 8 years. And it's a combination of many different whiskeys. Well, you know, the Club 400 is too. It's not just one straight whiskey blended with corn distillate. No, it's like a whole bunch of different ones, and they will blend it all together. Okay. I don't have much confidence now that I can tell them apart, but I mean, that would be even more disastrous because now we would be talking about a $22 bottle of blended whiskey from Canada, although Tyler Mansell said he got his for 18, which is a very peculiarly low price. But anyway, so an 8-year age Seagram's VO Gold versus Club 400. Now, if I go into that shivering, that's because it's cold outside, and I mean cold for us. And if I don't look too confident, that's because my confidence was shattered by today's catastrophic failure. But, you know, hey, hey, I'm out here doing blind taste tests. Who else is out here doing blind taste tests live? I don't know of anybody. They might be. I just haven't seen them. They're welcome to join me. You can be over there on your side of the camera doing your little switcheroo, and we could be tasting them. I don't know what point that would prove, but it'd be interesting. All right, so, you know, I'm going to try to live it down, try to move on, got to move on. Everything ain't a success. I've been bragging, I did it. Look, I did it. And then I come in today, go down in flames. Okay, so what's on tap for today? Okay, I'll tell you if you want to know. I've got some backstock recorded videos, so I'm going to post those tomorrow and Thursday. And then I've got some new ones coming. Lawrence Hartnett over there on Facebook. You probably know Lawrence Hartnett. He comments often on YouTube as well, from Kentucky. He sent me, and I'm telling him, I'm like, Lawrence, don't send it. It's too much money. Oh, no. I want to do it. Okay. He sends me a Dunkel, canned Dunkel beer, which I know nothing about. I'm going to research it. Then he sent me 2 bottles of Leinenkugel's Original. No joke. I mean, I've bought it on road trips like this right here. Oh, heck, it's in the other room. I got cans. Oh, you know what it looks like. You know what Leinenkugel's looks like. I'm talking about the original Leinenkugel's, which is interesting because it's got 17 IBU instead of like 12, like most average American beers. It's the original Leinenkugel's. He wanted me to try it again. I've bought the cans and the bottles in the past. I've got a can and a bottle. They've updated the label, which I thought was interesting. So he said, do a review. I said, okay, I'll do a revisit. It's been years. And then he said, do a taste challenge. I said, how about against Stag, which is another beer he sent me? Yeah, he says, perfect, Stag. I said, okay. So I'm going to try to do Leinenkugel's review today. It won't be posted for days. A revisit, right? And then a taste challenge, Stag versus Leinenkugel's, which in a practical sense is meaningless for most viewers since they can't get either one. So it's basically just a theoretical, right? A theoretical examination for most viewers. Then I'm going to try to drink a little bit of the Carlo Rossi Blush, which I have a review coming up to post, I think, Thursday. The Blush. Oh, that's a jewel. That's my juice. You know, like you should drink a little juice every day, but I can't stand actual fruit juice too much. But the wine I can tolerate. And moving on from there, yes. Oh, yes. I want to do a review of a 5-year aged, you heard me right, a 5-year aged barley wine style ale, Bigfoot, Sierra Nevada Bigfoot from 2013. I've been looking at that bottle for 5 years, and every time I open the refrigerator, I got to look at that bottle, and I'm sick of looking at it. So I got to pop it open. There's only one little problem. I got a 2014 bottle also aging, so I got to wait till 2019 to do it. Oh, well. The things we got to put up with. Okay, anyway, that's it. So join me in 2 days, perhaps, for Club 400 versus Seagram's VO Gold, and I pray that I do better next time because today was well, sort of a calamity, all right? Oh, well, tough luck, too bad. So do I know one from the other? Apparently not. Apparently not.